We go to the New York Times.
We don't give a fuck.
Famed author and well-known racist
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
Ta-Nehisi Coates sits down with Ezra Klein in a one-on-one. They talk about Charlie Kirk,
Hold up.
his love for him,
Wait a minute.
and how he'll be sorely missed.
Bullshit?
And if you believe that, I've got a bridge in Brooklyn I can sell you for $1.
Bingo.
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this Coates pulls no punches on how much a hatemonger
What the fuck?
Charlie Kirk truly was.
That's racist!
Wow, what a guy. But it's what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Tuesday. Well, this is something that I haven't brought up in quite a few days. And, of course, the whole situation with Charlie Kirk and the collective, it's still ongoing. And, of course, the outpouring of love still continues for Charlie Kirk and his message, through TPUSA, through other avenues. Crowder just recently had his, Change My Mind segment. He unretired and brought that back, even though he knew what the situation was regarding violence behind it. Others have stepped up as well. But then you have the other side. You have one famed author and well-known racist, Ta-Nehisi Coates, steps into a podcast with Ezra Klein of the New York Times, and they talk about all things political, including the death of Charlie Kirk, and how powerful it was on him, because his love for Charlie was just so deep, and his message was just so strong. They're like, how can we go on? And if you believe that, I've got a bridge in Brooklyn I could sell you for $1. Hell, you know what? I may even sell it to you for 50 cents. That's how good I'm feeling right now. But here we go. This comes off the Ezra Klein show, of course, from the New York Times. And we're going to pick it up right here where they talk about political violence and, of course, Charlie Kirk. This is Ezra Klein and Ta-Nehisi Coates.
The political violence like that is an attack on us all.
Right.
And that in that moment, it creates, for me, even if it's very temporary, that it's important in a moment like that to sort of, come together to.
Now, just for a little context, Ezra Klein is no raging left-wing nut. He is a well-acclaimed and well-famed writer for the New York Times. So he talks about, he wasn't that great of a fan of Charlie Kirk nor his message, but he knew the situation was politically. He knew how the winds changed with Charlie Kirk at the helm. And of course, he did grieve in his own way when Charlie Kirk died. So there you go.
To try to see other people in their grief, to try to cool things down just a little bit. I guess, given everything you read that Charlie Kirk said, and we probably don't have very different views on the value of the things he said, why do you think he was winning?
I mean, that's not really hard for me to understand. I mean, if I could just back up for a second, I want to say two things. I published a book 10 years ago, Between the World and Me. And one of the constant reactions to that was that it was overly pessimistic about this country. It was overly pessimistic about the future.
And of course, Ta-Nehisi makes sure, let's talk about me. Okay.
Sure. Why are you so dark, Ta-Nehisi? Why can't you give us any sense of hope? And the reason I would always say is because any sort of sober examination of the history of this country says that those of us who believe in equality, those of us who believe in respecting the humanity of our neighbors and of everyone, that we're up against some really, really powerful forces of history and powerful narratives. And the implication of that is...
That's interesting that he says that, we believe in our neighbors and what have you, but when it comes to Antifa and Black Lives Matter and, Summer of Love 2020 and what have you, it is what it is.
However good we felt in 2013, 14, 15, 2008, there will be backlash. People those of us who were crying in 2008 watching Obama, give that speech, those of us who were.
I know for a fact I wasn't crying in 2008 when Obama got elected. Why? Because it had nothing to do with him being black, which of course a huge swath of American voters didn't vote for him because he wasn't black. They didn't vote for him because of his politics and how skewed they were in the city of Chicago where he ran.
Was so moved by watching him and Michelle and step outside the car and felt so much fear for him. And then when nothing happened, felt so great about that.
Remember when he said, "We are the change that we've been waiting for? I am the change that you have been waiting for because I am your savior." Yeah, that was wonderful, Barack.
Those of us who believe that seeing a black family in the White House mirroring what, some of us felt the best of us was the best that we had to offer, there are other people watching that too. You know what I mean? And I don't take any joy in saying this, but we sometimes soothe ourselves by pointing out that love, acceptance, warmth, that these are powerful forces. I believe they are. I also believe hate is a powerful force. I believe it's a powerful, powerful unifying force. And I think Charlie Kirk was a hate monger.
There's the money shot.
I really need to say
there
this
is the
over and
money
over
shot.
again. I have a politic that rejects violence, that rejects political violence. I take no joy in the killing of anyone, no matter what they said. But if you ask me what the truth...
Nehisi, did you, like I said, did you earlier reject Antifa from like 2020, like on current Black Lives Matter? Current, Michael Brown, Freddie Gray. Did you reject that kind of violence while cities were burning down and Barack Obama was playing Nero, playing his fiddle while the country burned? Did you call out a narrative of peace? I don't remember that.
Truth of his life was, and the truth of his public life, I would have to tell you it's hate. I would tell you I'd have to tell you it is the usage of hate and the harnessing of hate towards political ends.
Here he doubles down, and here's why he really wanted Ezra Klein to just remain silent. Sod 11.
I don't take any joy in saying this, but we sometimes soothe ourselves by pointing out that love, acceptance, warmth, that these are powerful forces. I believe they are. I also believe hate is a powerful force. I believe it's a powerful, powerful unifying force. And I think Charlie Kirk was a hate monger. I really need to say this over and over again. I have a politic that rejects violence, that rejects political violence. I take no joy in the killing of anyone, no matter what they said. But if you ask me what the truth of his life was, and the truth of his public life, I would have to tell you it's hate. I'd have to tell you it is the usage of hate and the harnessing of hate towards political ends.
I got a question for you, Ta-Nehisi. Was silence an option? Maybe silence was a better option for you as his family's still grieving him and he's barely in the ground. Maybe now would be a time for you to shut the fuck up and stop talking about somebody you didn't know at all in hateful terms and driving up the hate meter on right-wing thinking, which is what Charlie was guilty of, as many of us are still making public appearances and trying to live. Okay? Maybe that's something you could think about in the future. I can't say it better than Mark Halperin said it when he reacted on After Party with Emily Jashinsky. Here he is, SOT 13.
That guy was not speaking on teleprompter. He was speaking off the top of his head. So maybe he regrets saying what he said, but fuck him. Because this man was not a hater. Just manifestly not. And there's so much evidence on the public record. You didn't have to know him personally to know that he wasn't a hater. Disagree with him. Charlie said some things I didn't disagree with. He said some things I didn't particularly fancy, but he was not a hater. And he's got a widow and 2 young kids and so many friends who loved him. And this guy's on the national town square talking bullshit about someone he didn't know. This is what's wrong with the desire for people to make money and get acclaim off of saying false negative things about people they don't know. It's a real fundamental problem that's existed throughout human history, but now in the digital age, you can do it and you can reach millions of people. So fuck him.
Perfectly put.
All right. My thoughts. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's about an hour long, but you can check it out. And but right there, Ta-Nehisi Coates was one, it's about me. And two, we on the left, we are the people of tolerance. You know, we tolerate other people's views. We may disagree, but, you know, agree to disagree, and we walk away from it. We don't strike punches, take shots, try to get people canceled, fight them in the streets, burn down their buildings, loot their stores, you know, shoot police. No. We don't do any of that. That's all on the right. Why? Because Charlie Kirk was a man of hate. And again, I've said this a number of times posting on my X page and Instagram. Still waiting for that one video, that one audio evidence that Charlie Kirk was a homophobic, misogynistic, Islamophobe, you know, racist son of a bitch that those like Ta-Nehisi Coates portray him to be. I'm still waiting. It's been almost a month now since Charlie Kirk's death, and yet no one has been able to provide that evidence. Gee, I wonder why. Could it be that there is none? Yeah, let's go with that. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please have a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and we'll see you next time. Peace.